Everything went black. Oh. Alright, everything's good. Everything's good now. Okay. This is going amazing, just so you know. I hope that won't be loud. Alright, so... Welcome to the podcast. It's been a minute. I'm Zeusy.
It is.
And here's Mist. They're really tired because they've been up all day working on some Abby's, specifically Bunny Boy, because she's been working on it for 3 hours. So I'm putting her in there to rest. So yeah, there's that. It was a train wreck setting everything up, finding a world. But we're here now. Yeah, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Portalix and I eat tacos for a living.
You know what?
There's your fucking intro.
You know what I should have done, actually? I should have actually made a GC on Discord, actually, because that's what me and Miss do. Making a GC on a Discord is making more, like, audible and clear. And, you know, ignoring the delays. Is it too late to do it now, Miss? Ah, fuck, it's too late. I hope it doesn't come out as shit. So, what do you do besides eating tacos? There's a shooting star. That's fucking nuts.
I voice act a lot, or at least I try to.
If y'all don't
Mostly
know,
Vor stuff, because you know, no one else will take me for anything else.
Damn. Well, you did voice on one of the comics that I made of, it was you and I being like giant, thick, bendy gals, and then you're like, fuck it, let me just voice it. Which, honestly, that was actually impressive on how you pulled it off. It was actually pretty good with the audio and everything, and sound and whatnot. So there's that.
I was trying to do a fucking British impression, but it turned out to be Scottish, and I was like, okay, I'll just work with that.
It still worked. It worked out pretty well in the end. It was fucking... Although, what was I gonna bring up?
You gotta keep in mind, though, that I did that, like, early in the morning, so, like, my voice wasn't as best as it could be.
Fucking... Trying to remember, my brain is really fucking having a stroke. I'm swearing a lot. Am I gonna get demonetized for this? I don't know. Oh well. It's really distracting to think with the fucking squirming gut. I need to stop swearing a lot. But besides all that madness, the last podcast I did bring up that we were gonna bring up like childhood memories or, you know, some cringe stuff that had happened. So,
Oh god, I've got too many of those.
do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Okay, so back in middle school.
Alright!
So back in middle school, I fucking remember at the end of the semester, they, like, it was a charter school, right? So everything was proper. They made us wear fucking uniforms. They gave us all, like, cheap Chromebooks to have and use for studying reasons.
God, I feel bad.
But, yeah, no, it wasn't as good as you think.
Jesus.
Because these teachers were also, the school had just been built, by the way,
Yeah.
and all the teachers were just hired, so everyone was new to this. Like, literally every single person was new to this. So at the end of the semester, we all decided to take a 2-week-long bus trip from Texas to New York and back.
You guys had one of those schools? Wait, was that what that school?
Yeah.
mean? You had a privileged school. The fuck?
Yeah, privilege. Just wait though, because I can't remember what states it was in between, but I know it was in Massachusetts at the time. And they told us to keep ourselves hydrated as much as possible. So that's what I did. I kept myself hydrated as much as possible because I'm a liquidholic.
Yeah.
This bus also conveniently has a bathroom. However, the bathroom was locked because the teachers had heard that kids
Oh,
were
I
having
remember
fucking sex
this!
in there.
I remember this! Holy shit! Okay, well, I remember the story now, but go on.
Yeah, so kids apparently were deciding to have sex in the bathroom, so the teachers decided that the best course of action would be to lock the bathroom up. Problem solved. No. I had to piss very fucking badly, and so I remember going to the teacher, like, while they were asleep, because what else am I gonna do? And I said, I really have to use the fucking bathroom. Can you please, like, unlock the bathroom door? And you're like, no, we'll be there in just a few minutes. Just let me sleep. I'm like,
Bruh.
I really have to go. I'm gonna piss my pants. No, it's okay. Just sit down. We're almost there. And so I fucking sat down and waited until I pissed my fucking pants.
From the details I remember you told me, you're like, oh yeah, no, I pissed, and there's like piss running down the fucking aisle of the bus or whatever, and some kid was like,
yeah, there was everywhere.
They're just looking down like, what the hell? They look over at you and you're just like sitting there like, just like playing it off like it wasn't you.
I tried to, but everyone all found out, started laughing at me. So there was that. The worst part was right when I'm about to get out, the bus driver of all people makes me clean it up.
I mean, it is your piss, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's not my fault. They locked the fucking bathroom.
You know what they should have done? They should have been like, alright, if you need to use the bathroom, only one person can go in at a time, and they would give you the key or they would unlock it for you. Like, that would make more sense than just like,
That's what they
closing off.
That's what they should have done, but that's not what they did. No, instead they decided to sleep because I guess they decided to stay up all night on their fucking phones or whatever. But yeah, there's that childhood.
My turn, okay. Fuck. It's like yours is like a lot more better than I had. Mine is like, cause okay, so I did a pose that could be either a cringy memory or it could be a childhood memory. So it's like a truth or dare type deal, but instead it's either cringe or childhood. Trying to remember, cause I can think of like the most dumb thing that I think it's cringy, but to some people it's like, oh, that's nothing. I could say that there was this one time where I was in high school and I was basically treated as like I was part of the outcast group is what I was, because we're all fucking weird. And I remember it was one of my childhood friend's brother was in the cafeteria with me, and I was with my outcast friend group, right? And his fucking, my friend's brother was waving me over, being like, hey, come here, hang out with us, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but I'm with friends. And he's like, come here, whatever. I'm like, okay. And then I went over to his table, right? It was him, his cousin, and his cousin's girlfriend, right? And obviously they weren't outcasts. Like, they were pretty well known around the school. And my bitch ass decided to wave over my outcast friends from that table to the table that I was sitting at. I shit you not, we were all literally just sitting there in awkward silence, and it was fucking bad. And eventually we were just sitting there staring at each other awkwardly, and then my friend's brother said like, well, I have to go to class, because that was his excuse. And his cousin didn't even bother to fucking hide it. He's like, yeah, we gotta go, we're busy. Literally sat like 2 tables across from us. And I was just sitting there with my fucking head in my hand, like head in my hands, and I'm just like, God damn it! Like I don't know who I should be pissed with. Should I be pissed with him for like because he was pressuring me to sit over there,
Jesus.
even though I was clearly sitting with some friends of mine, but he was like forcing me like, come here, dude, come here, and I'm like, dude, I'm with people over here. I'm not gonna leave them. He's like, no, come here, because I don't want to be a dick because they're literally like a table across from my friend group. I'm not just gonna like ditch my table, go over and sit by him. And then, the friends are like, what a dick, like, why'd you leave? It's like, go cause you... But no, it was just kind of awkward, because we were all sitting there in silence, because, outcast groups and popular kids do not mix well. So they're just awkwardly, like, sitting there in silence. I can't think of a cringy moment, but I can think of, like, some dumb school moments. And like outside of school stuff. But I guess we're doing this in turns, so I guess I already said mine, so I guess it's your turn now.
Does it have to be like, it has to be childhood related, right?
It could be childhood related, it could be cringe, or it could be like like out there or something. It could be like in your teenage years as well. Doesn't have to be childhood, but it can be teenage. Just like how I mentioned with mine, like in high school.
So the day I came out into Vor.
Hey, yo! I mean, that's also the next question, too, because I've asked in the past on how people got into Vor as well. And by people, I mean Mr. Me.
As most people will say, it's Men in Black 2, right? That's how I
it's
first
Men in
got
Black.
into it without even like realizing it. However, the day I like actually realized it was like when I was browsing YouTube and I discovered like this whole, I can't remember what the video was called. It was like this like, it was like these girls being eaten by a long snake, and it was like a wooga.
Oh my
A
god.
brain realization. Yeah, and I started like delving deeper into like the whole lore, or not
The
lore,
lore
but
of
like
Vor.
the whole Vor community, the whole Vor community in general. But then my fucking dad decided to take my phone once and browse it, and he confronts me about it, going,
no.
"What the fuck is this?"
Oh
And
no!
I'm like,
Hey, Dad, I can explain. It's cannibalism.
So I tried to play it off like I tried to play it off like I was dumb. Like I have no fucking clue. Yeah, why is it all in your history? Your guess is as good as mine.
Damn, Dad, I don't know. Maybe my phone got hacked and people wanted to frame me. I don't know. Fucking. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, no,
with
my
this
phone
public
got
internet.
fucking hacked. I don't know.
Somebody just into Vor and just busted it. So what happened after that?
He just starts going on and on about this whole lecture about like how if I start like looking at Vor too much, then I'll start having unrealistic like sexualities.
Wait, does your dad know exactly what
Like
Vor
I won't
is?
want to look at a woman the same thing.
Does like
He thinks to this day that Vor messed me up as a child.
I mean, he's kind of right though.
I mean, he's right, but he doesn't have to be a dick about it and just go, Vor messed you up as a kid.
I mean, it's how like Vor affects you as a child. That like at a very young age, it would slowly just start to brainwash you, into liking like a fetish or whatever.
I get that, but he doesn't have to be a dick about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, he says like, oh, well, you're gonna expect all this. He's like, you're gonna expect a woman in real life to eat you whole and cannibalize you. That's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen. And you're like, just you wait, Dad.
No, he legitimately said that.
He
legitimately said that to me when I was like fucking 14 years old.
Oh my god. I can just imagine, like, if my dad told me that, like, that's not gonna happen, I'm like, no shit, I'm aware that's not gonna happen. Like, the fuck? And he's like,
The temptation to tell him that was like huge.
But you try to play it off dumb, like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. You're gonna get brain rot from this shit. It's like, well, okay, good to know, but I'm not into this.
I'm not into this. I don't know where this came from.
Somebody hacked me, Dad. There's just little.
And then there's the talk about my dad with the whole Vor podcast, and he's like, "What? A Vor
What?
podcast?"
Wait, mine or just like?
Yeah, no, my dad, like yours. Like, yeah, I was
Oh.
like, I'm in a podcast now. I was like, what? Yeah, I'm in a Vor podcast. A what podcast? A Vor podcast.
Just say fucking
Man, I remember when you were watching that shit. I remember when you were watching that shit back when you were like fucking 13 or whatever. I was 14, Dad.
Oh no. That, God damn it.
I remember that shit messed you up as a kid. Great! I'm glad to know that I'm a messed up child now.
Gee, thanks, Father. But you do realize that me being into war has to do with something with genetics as well. So you just look over at your dad.
Fucking
and you're like-
genetics or some shit.
You just look over at your dad and you're just like, are you into weird shit, Dad? He's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
I should have said that straight to his face.
Yeah, because no, sometimes
That would have been so fucking funny.
It actually is, like, well, sometimes. It depends. Sometimes it is genetic, sometimes it is being brainwashed. But, an example, I'm not gonna say this out loud on who the person is. I think you might know. Or maybe not, I don't know. But there's a friend of ours that had told me, saying that, like, oh, that, yeah, like, I'm into Vor, my brother is into, like, you know, weight gain, like, you know, fat fetish stuff. Which is weird. And then he mentions that his dad, right, like, their mother's saying, like, oh, I feel like I should lose weight or whatever the fuck. And their dad is saying, like, no, you're fine just the way you are. So that just gives it a hint that it might be, like, genetics and whatnot.
No, you're fine just the way you are. In fact,
You should eat more. Oh my god.
like you don't look healthy enough. I think you need to eat a little more.
Literally the fucking, like, this reminds me of the time back in Family Guy where Peter was feeding Lois a cake because they enjoyed fat sex. You need to eat more, Lois. But fucking, what was I gonna say? It's genetics. So, okay, so what's weird is from genetics it gets really strange only because, like, if, like, you know, said person is, like, into this, that means the rest of the family might be into this, which brings me to my somewhat bit of concern is, what if somewhere down in the family tree, right, there's a person who's just straight up into cannibalism?
Ugh.
Isn't that nuts?
Like I can't imagine that.
Like,
That is
somewhere
very
down
nuts,
there.
but I can't imagine that. Cause you know what's stupid is that
What?
I am like partially Native American too.
So you're a fucking Wendigo.
Probably.
Fucking skinwalker.
Probably.
Oh shit, that actually makes sense with your fucking lore. With, like, the Sentigo and all that stuff.
Sent to go. Mm-hmm.
That actually makes a lot more sense. Wait, no, you brought this up to me, didn't you? You're like, oh yeah, part of me is Native American. Wait, hold on. Wait, part of you is Native American.
Like partially, yeah.
Okay, I have a feeling that somewhere down that ancestry, I'm pretty sure that wasn't consensual. Or it could be, who knows? There might be forbidden
It
love.
might have, it might not have been. I don't remember. I think that it was from not. I don't think it was from like an official American settler. I think it was from a different European pilgrim.
I don't know if I can say insensitive stuff like this. Can I get away with it? I don't know. I don't know. Depends on the audience.
I have no clue. I cannot remember my family. All I know is that the Briants were derived from French knights who turned into Irish kings.
French Knights. The only thing I can make an attachment in my dumbass little pea brain is that there were some French settlers that were banned to live in Louisiana. That's why there's like caged French, like foods being named after that and whatever. So maybe
I don't know. I have to look up the whole lineage of the Braillon.
there could be like French people that went to Louisiana and then maybe somewhere down there in the South they probably came across Native Americans and probably got it on either consensually or non-consensually. Who knows? So
Like I said, I can't remember my whole family lineage.
If you do get a DNA test, right, and it says oh yeah, bit of it came from France and bit of it came from Louisiana, Native American, you might be the next Alistair if you think about it.
Oh shit.
Because if I'm okay, has anyone ever noticed this? But Alistair is literally a demon who cannibalizes and has antlers and is long, tall, and skinny. It literally screams Wendigo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone's noticed that.
He can't stop smiling either.
Yeah, he can't stop smiling either. And since the guy's from Louisiana, and who knows, maybe the French from your ancestors' side probably went to Louisiana, and then did stuff there, and there might be one of them who's an actual cannibal, which is literally a recreation of fucking Alistair, but maybe in the 1800s or
Probably.
something, or 1600s. Actually, somebody fact check me on this. I don't know when the French arrived to Louisiana as a punishment.
Neither can I. I don't remember if it was from Louisiana that those French were. All I know is that they were French Knights.
Oh, Knights.
But there is that huge bit of Irish in me, so I don't know where that comes from.
Oh, the Knights? That's way before fucking 1800s. Goddamn, it's I don't know, I don't want to sound like a dumbass saying isn't that from 2014?
Yeah, no, French Knights.
Yeah, the French Knights.
The whole Brion ancestry came from French Knights.
God, that name reminds me of fucking Belmont. Somewhere in the Porterverse, there's a Belmont version. What's the Brions?
That'd be pretty sick. Just Porter on a horse with a Vorbelly.
Yeah.
Then the horse has a Vorbelly too.
But instead of nanotech and whatnot, it's more steampunk machinery, because that's basically what you had to work off with back in the medieval times, if you really think about it. Hasn't gone to diesel yet.
Mm-hmm.
Diesel's the next step, and then from diesel it's atom punk, and then from atom punk it's cyberpunk. Unless if I'm skipping something between.
Decopunk.
What's decopunk?
Like modern-ish. Because cyberpunk's more futuristic, right?
Oh, so then decopunk.
Because then we'll go from retropunk to decopunk, and then decopunk to dieselpunk.
Oh shit. Wait, retropunk.
Or not dieselpunk, cyberpunk.
It'd be steampunk, dieselpunk, and then retropunk.
Atom.
No, wait, atom punk, retropunk, and then decopunk.
Deco, cyber.
And then cyber. Reminds me of my home planet in the Zeusy-verse. I just grew up in a steampunk reality, and I came back to fucking atom punk, and then I left. We were talking about childhood memories. I don't think we were alive during the fucking medieval times. Oh my god. It's a good thing that you and I have ADHD.
I just started delving into family ancestry.
Yeah.
Hmm?
It's a good thing that you and I have ADHD, because we can go off on long ass rants that just lead to nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but where the hell was I? Oh yeah, the cringy ass fucking memories as teenagers and as other people. Oh my god, this reminds me. Should I even say this? I don't know. So I have 2 stories that my mom has told me. Dumb shit that I did as a kid. No, 3 stories. That has to deal with. Actually, should I talk about this? I don't think I should talk about this. It has to do with shit. Like
literal shit.
Like
I guess
literal
Patreon
shit.
exclusives then.
Should I make it? Fuck it. I don't know. There's a lot of shit I gotta edit. There's also a lot of things I gotta stop swearing. I gotta stop swearing because I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get monetized. But I'm pretty sure no one's gonna notice me, except for like the little fan base that we have. I remember as a kid where my mom said that, like, she told me, like, oh yeah, no, as a kid you were just really constipated and, you know, you couldn't do much and blah blah blah, whatever. And you know, we tried everything. We tried to do laxatives, you know, things that can make people go to the bathroom and whatever, yada yada yada. And then one day the ice cream man, El Panetero, this was back in California, came by with his little cart full of ice creams in it. He's like, oh hey, like waving down my mom. And my mom was trying to put diapers on me when I was a kid. And I was running around, and then I went outside with my ass cheeks out in the fucking open, and I was at the doorway because I was embarrassed, right? And then my mom was like, oh look, the ice cream man is here. And then she went over to the ice cream man and she's like, oh yeah, I want, like, you know, 2 cones or something like that, right? And I got close and I was hanging my hand on my mom's leg because I was shy, and the ice cream man is like, oh hey kid, how's it going, do you want an ice cream? In that fucking moment, I just clutched on my mom's pants, and she looks down at me. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I was just grunting, and I let out the longest, fattest shit in front of the ice cream man. And he looks at me in fucking shock. And my mom is like, "I shit you not. Your turd was like at least like the length of my forearm." And the ice cream man was just looking at me, just like. In all, like, eyes wide open, like deadpan, looking down. It's just like, what the fuck? And my mom was embarrassed. She's like, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. And he's like, oh, it's fine. And he just, like, here's the thing. He normally does a route. He normally does a route to go around the cul-de-sac, right? No, he just went right the fuck back around. He left. He didn't even bother going around the whole way. He just left. I don't remember what happened after that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. So that's one story down.
Okay, wait, no, that reminds me.
Go on.
My fucking dog, right?
Oh no.
Back when I was, I think, 10 years old.
Yeah.
My dog was like my favorite dog, right? But he was a little dog. Like, he was barely the size of my head now. He was so small. He was a Shih Tzu.
Yeah.
But oh god, I don't remember what I went outside for. I think it was just to like play with the neighbors and play on my bike, which for some reason I thought it was always a cool idea to attach a flattened water bottle to the end of my bike so that it would sound like a motorcycle.
Yeah, it sound like a dirt bike or something. Yeah, we used to do that in our neighborhood too. A kid did it with like a bunch of cards on his tire. It was like business cards his mom handed out, but yeah.
Cards would have worked pretty well. But I did the flattened bottle because I was poor. But anyway, I remember I was on my bike and it was time for me to go inside, and my little dog got out, but he never ran away. He wasn't the type of dog to just like immediately run away somewhere. No, he'd like to take his time to sniff every little thing, especially if it was in our front yard.
Yeah.
So it was like, he can stay out here for a little while, and I was going in, but then I noticed my dog like hunkering down in our front yard. And I was about to stop him when all of a sudden
Oh my god.
Okay, so instead of hunkering down, his ass curved outward and just fucking blasted out
What
a
the
shotgun
fuck?
of shit all over our front yard tree.
the
It was so fucking hilarious.
What did he eat? What did you feed him? What the
Turns out he had snuck an entire fucking corn on the cob for himself and ate the whole thing.
Just imagine there's like corn still attached to the fucking tree from the shit he projectile shot. Oh my fucking god, I'm done with
it. It was so fucking hilarious.
Fucking Christ.
Just an entire fucking shotgun of shit and corn on the cob all over the tree and all over the yard. It was so fucking funny.
God.
The worst part is I was too young to mow the lawn, so my dad mowed the lawn. Yeah, but luckily he did that during the winter time, so...
Oh, so it's not as stinky. Stinky.
No, it wasn't as bad.
Jesus. Wait, hold
No,
on.
it was so fucking funny.
Did your dog shit while it was still snowing?
No, it didn't snow in Texas. It doesn't snow very often in Texas.
Well, until recently, but yeah.
It snows every once every 3 years.
Not this year, but like, what was it? Was it last year or 2 years ago? It was really bad. Where pipes started bursting, and Texans didn't know what the fuck to do, cause they're like, oh, we should pour hot water on this frozen windshield, like that'll be fine, and then it just shatters, and they're really upset.
I grew up in the city of Texas, so like we grew up in a place that we more or less know what to do when shit hits the fan.
You can tell it's gotten really bad to the point where I remember I was scrolling through TikTok and there's this old guy being like, if winter comes by Texas again, I'll tell you what to do. And he grabs like this like potted plant and he grabs these cinder blocks. He's like, what you should do is you should set cinder blocks on both opposite sides, leave a gap in the middle, and put one more cinder block in the back so it forms like a half square. And then you put a pot plant on top of the cinder. Make sure the opening is on the bottom, and then you put the candle inside, and then basically you made your own little like furnace. Like, and I was just like, oh, that's neat. Oh fuck. Because it's gotten that bad. It's gotten that horrible.
The Texans are innovative.
God.
I would know this too. Like, I grew up for 17 years in Texas.
I remember I visited Texas, which I remember as a kid. This really brings the story back around, but as a kid in Texas, I remember we visited our cousins that were from Mexico. They didn't know a lick of English at all, and we were just like playing around in the fucking room. We're just playing like this, like, so the game that we made was like a pillow fight, but in the darkness. So it was like, what was that one game? Like, where you clap your hand and then the person's like in the dark and they're trying to find you. Like
kind of like Dark Marco Polo, almost.
Yeah, Dark Marco Polo, but except, with fucking heavy ass fucking pillows. They can swing the shit out of somebody and knock their ass into the floor. It was...
Yeah, I remember playing that during fucking school.
It was so panic-inducing and fear, anxiety that like we were being so loud that the neighbors underneath us were just like smacking the ceiling with a broom, telling us to shut up. And my cousin.
I remember we played that game, but we didn't make it. My teachers didn't make it like so dark. All they did was like fold the blinds down so that it was like moderately dark. But my dumbass decided to cheat and use that fucking light to see.
Bruh. Moderately, fucking, oh my god.
But I was afraid that like I thought the teachers could like figure that out, so I was like, I tried to play it off like I had no idea where I was.
That reminds me of a story I remembered actually. We were at my friend's house, I remember, and we were playing this miniature little horror game in the basement. We completely turned off the lights, but before we did that, right? His parents and his older siblings were sleeping to go to work, whatever. So our dumbasses thought this would be a good idea, right? We would literally use duct tape, and we would literally tape the fuck out of our mouths, right? Seal it shut. And then we just thought as a cool little design, we just like open like uncapped markers and just draw a smiley face. And then just like, alright, cool. And there's one person who plays as the monster. And we're just in complete darkness. And we couldn't see shit. And so we're just like walking around feeling. And we would just like grab onto the person, we're like, oh shit. He's like, we're like for an example, it's like, dude, is that you? Is that you? They're like, yeah, it's the whole thing. Fuck, I thought you were the bad guy. Like mimicking other people's voices, right? He's like, I am the bad guy. We're like, oh no! They tackle the fuck out of us. They just drag us into the depths.
Bruh, what the fuck? I don't remember playing that shit.
No, for us it was like way fucking intense. It was just like you had to survive. But here's the thing: you could hide, but you can only hide for so long. So it's basically like prop hunt in the dark. So you'd have to make like some dumb noise or whatever, or throw something in the opposite side of the room. But here's the thing: they're way too fucking clever for that. So when they heard something being tossed in the opposite side of the room, they're like, no, if that made that noise over there, that means that came from over here. And they turn the fuck around and you can see their silhouette slowly getting closer to us. We're like, oh shit, what the fuck do we do? What the fuck do we do? And then they're like
God.
They used one of the people as human shield. They're like, fuck, you're the human shield. What do you mean? What do you mean? What the fuck? They grab the person, they put him in front of him, and they grab their fucking shoulders like, no, and they drag him into the fucking dark. I took a photo.
Oh no.
And you can hear them like just like because like by the way, half of the people have their mouths shut, like taped shut, only because like they couldn't contain themselves. For the ones who didn't, like, you know, obviously we said like, oh well, it's optional, but you know, you have to be fucking quiet on purpose. So all you can let out is little whimpers or whatever. The person next to me, right, had their mouth taped shut, and where I was just like, are you okay? Are you okay? And they're like, mm-hmm. And as they get their leg fucking grabbed and pulled back, all you hear is just like being pulled, and I'm like, oh,
Jesus Christ.
Fuck. I'm like, oh, Jimmy's dead. Fucking Jimmy's dead. Like freaking out, like actually having tears in my eyes and everything. And I'm like, okay guys. By the way, our goal in this game, right? We were supposed to make from one place, like one side of the basement to the other side, perfectly fine and safe.
Oh, you did this in the basement?
We did this in the basement in the dark, yeah. So we were supposed to like make it from point A to point B while there's like two monsters out and about, and they would drag us into the dark into a different room and lock us in there. And if we wanted to free people, we had to unlock the door to free people so they can get back out there. Which I think like the door was like in this boiler room over here, which was the most shadiest looking boiler room. But it was terrifying. Sometimes the monsters would like literally claim the person as their own or something, like in some game modes. Yeah, we would have game modes. We would have either collect everyone till they're all gone, or either we would just like play like everyone's at tag. So like, you know, you're the monster now, because we claimed you, you're one of us. So we had two little game modes. And goddamn, it was the most like fear-inducing shit ever. And we were just kind of tired, so we're just like, fuck it, like, you know, we're gonna turn on the light, right? And I thought someone was behind me, right? So I started screaming and panicking, right? And they swapped on the lights, and they're like, Zeus, we're over here, and they're right behind me. I'm like, oh, okay. And I turned around, I'm like, like
Jesus Christ!
Like I was like, oh, and they're like, Zeus, we're over here. I'm like, oh.
So we were talking about like how the screensaver for the music sounds like a bully or looks like a bully.
Oh yeah, earlier we were talking about.
And speaking of fear.
Oh no.
So yeah, so it's one of these, but it's awful. So I can't even remember where it was. I know. Oh, okay. So down in Dallas, there is this whole there's this enormous like ball tower. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but it lights up, especially during sports games.
I was actually, my fucking cousins went there. That's the thing. And I was like left out. And I'm like, why didn't I go to it? And they're like, oh, well, why didn't you ask? I'm like, yeah, like I live in Dallas.
So one of our elementary field trips was to go in that. And if you don't know me, or if you do know me, you know that I have a huge fear of heights, along with, strangely, with sea lions or leopard seals.
Yeah, there was a similar story.
But
that you
the
fell out of
main
all,
fear.
but we'll get to that.
Oh yeah, I'll get to that later. But like, my main fear is heights, especially growing up, because my bully, named Wyatt, who I thought was my friend, but turned out to be a huge fucking asshole, decided it would be funny to literally hang half of my body over the fucking edge
What the fuck?
with one hand grab, like, his one fist full of my hair just hanging on tightly, and the other grabbing my shirt and just hanging me off the edge because he thought it would be fucking hilarious to see my terrified reaction. So literally my upper half is like just dangling over half of that entire fucking center tower, while my lower half is like kicking frantically to get back on the other side. It wasn't until the teacher went, "Wyatt, cut it out."
What?
That
Yeah,
he looks
casually.
back and just decides,
Just
yeah, casually just says that and decides to throw me back.
Bro.
Yeah, I don't like talking about Wyatt very much because he was that kind of bully.
Bro. And that's what he looks like, isn't it?
It legitimately is.
If y'all don't know what we're
The hair needs to be like extremely shorter and looks like it look blonde and like you know what flaming hair is?
No.
Like where it's sticking straight up.
Oh.
It's like that fucking like
what's
shorter
his
version
name?
of Bart Simpson hair.
Fuck, what's his name? The guy who, like, Guy Fieri. Yeah, he has that hairstyle.
Yeah. It's like that. It's like almost like Bart Simpson hair, except much shorter. He's got that, but that's his face.
Bro.
He would occasionally wear glasses, but he didn't wear them too often because he thought it would make it to where everyone would make fun of him.
Bro, okay, so if y'all don't know what we're reacting to, I'm not sure Kay even showed this, I don't know. But there's a guy on her screen that, you know, is dressed up like in the, like, maybe like 1600s or 1500s because we're listening to classical music or whatever, but lo-fi. Dude, fucking... If I saw a kid like that, I'd literally assume, like, yeah, this kid has no father figure. Either that, like, you know, like, his parents must hate him.
Oh, his parents hated him.
Oh, well, then no wonder.
Every time I would, like, get invited to his house, like, his parents would scream at him for, like, the dumbest things. Especially his dad. Like, I thought my dad was an asshole, but no.
It's kind of getting dark, actually. I think we should probably stray away from this.
It is getting dark. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, teacher casually says, "Wyatt, just quit trying to kill, like, your fucking other students." Like,
Yeah,
okay.
no, he legitimately just, like, casually went, "Wyatt, cut it out."
Wyatt, knock that shit off.
And I tried to fucking, like, report him, but the teacher's going, like, "Shh, focus. They're telling a fucking story."
Oh my god, I hate teachers like that. I remember I was getting, like, picked on and bullied, and I remember obviously there's like a little like thing that's going on in our school, right, where we were supposed to go on a camping trip as a school, like as a class, right, and I keep forgetting to bring the items because, well, ADHD brain, short-term memory, which was not fair. And I'm pretty sure the lesson of all this, I'm bringing stuff over, was supposed to be like, oh, responsibilities, whatever. Like, you're supposed to take responsibilities, but it's kind of hard because, well, one, I was in elementary school. Two, I had extreme ADHD, so I literally forget everything. And three, like Like, they're just really fucking harsh on me on the most littlest, dumbest thing ever. And this kid, right? Like, we're like, oh, we need the supplies, we need the supplies. And they had to talk to another kid. And they literally just used, like, fucking Monopoly bucks. Did your school have this where we would have to collect Monopoly bucks for a, like, school garage sale? So we just, like, give away shit, like, you know, using fake money.
Yes, but it was for like different fucking board game money. I can't remember what it was though.
It wasn't Monopoly money for us, exactly. Like, I'm just using
It was life. It was literally life money.
Is that what I think it was? I think that's what it was for us. I don't know. But we had like a little currency system going on. Like, literally those dollars, that school somehow managed to make those dollars like worth something, like have value behind it. Like, it was like fun bucks or something like that for us. Like Monopoly money. And
yeah, our teachers noticed but decided to make their own little fun thing because, you know, they had to be special.
yeah.
But it never worked
But
because their shit was lame.
Yeah, and eventually kids started catching on, copying and printing their own money or whatever. Literally just like fucking like counterfeit and whatever. No, but there was a point where this kid needed supplies for the camping trip because, you know, as a class we were going on a camping trip, and he literally gave half of his money to this other kid to make this like transaction deal with fun bucks, right? And they gave him like whatever supplies. And I went over to the teacher when we were like next to the bathroom, and I was like, hey, Mr. So-and-so, like, I feel bad that, you know, Jimmy over here had to give like money to David over here or some shit like that, right? And they're like, well, it's your responsibility and you're supposed to do it, blah 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 blah, whatever the fuck, right? But, you know, like, my little fucking brain couldn't handle it. But I had something else to say to him too. I was also being bullied. So I was like, yeah, I feel bad. And like, yo, well, you have to make it up for it, so you have to use your money to pay him back. And then I was about to tell him something else. It's like, yeah, but I gotta tell you something else. And he's like, nope, we're done with this discussion. We're done with it. I'm like, no, but there's something else. It's like, no, we're done. And I was gonna tell him that I was being bullied. And he just told me to shut the fuck up.
Shit.
Which is dumb as hell.
Jesus Christ, man. I hate teachers like that.
And what's funny is I remember, because we had a counselor teacher who would come over and like teach the class on how to be like a decent human being and like what you should do if you see something, say something type shit. And they're like, if you're being bullied, tell a teacher. And literally the next day, right, all that shit happened to me. And I was like, I'm being bullied by this other kid. I wanted to tell him that, right? But he just told me to shut the hell up. And then I was just like, well, I lost all faith. I no longer trust adults anymore. So, yeah.
Nope, I lost faith in adults for a while because
we don't know what we're doing. We're adults.
Oh,
we're like 23.
God,
I'm 21. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Nobody knows. But kids look up to us because they think like, oh, you guys know so much. Blah blah. You have a lot of experiences. Like, yes, we have a lot of experiences, but there's new shit that's coming into this world that we have no clue what the hell's going on. Like Skibbity Toilet. What the fuck's that?
at that point it's like, why are you using it as like a slang term? You do realize that it just derived from a silly video, and I guess that silly video turned out to have like actual fucking lore to it now.
Which I'm just a bit upset about. Why the fuck does that have lore? Something so dumb.
It does. It literally has fucking like
it has actual lore.
In-depth lore to it now.
There's literally a world on VorareChat where you can go over to the Skibbity Toilet War and whatnot. So yeah, there's that. Oh fuck. Actually no, but we're getting off track. Lost faith in adults.
Childhood memories, right?
Because you know, I tried to tell the adult like, I'm being bullied, but he just told me to shut up. And then there was another adult. I was in middle school, and this was my history teacher, and he was making a joke, right? Because he's the jokey type of teacher who just like does some rambunctious jokes, right? But I didn't know, you know, how far or how it'd be. So I wanted to take a shot, being like, I want to joke along with you. So my dumbass just called him like. So the context of this was like, oh, you know, I have a guitar, blah blah blah. Zeus plays a guitar or plays music, and I just like, as a joke, I'm like, oh, racist. And he got so fucking mad. He got so pissed. He started cussing me out in front of the class. Thank fuck I covered my ears and ducked down, because I'm pretty sure whatever he said would have probably stuck with me for the rest of my life. But I don't know what the hell he said to me, because everyone's reaction was like, ooh, and he was just really pissed off. And then, I was really bitter too. I'm like, I was really mumbling to myself as I was just walking out in the hallway, being like, I'll just make a joke, fucking asshole, like dumbass. And fucking the next day, right?
Okay, so
this guy was like being buddy, being like, hey, Zeus, and I'm like, fuck off. So I was just bitter with him.
I remember, okay, so during this charter school, right, our math teacher was also a drill sergeant.
Oh,
or like a retired drill sergeant.
That reminds me of my story too.
Yeah,
but go on.
Okay.
Go on. We had one of those too in our school too. But go on.
So, like, I had ADHD, so it was hard for me to focus on literally anything, especially when it came to fucking schoolwork. But I would bring this little, I would bring some little miniature toy that was like frivolous and cheap, and I would just bring that. And the teacher found it, took it, and said, "Get the fuck out of my class." He said, "Get out of my class." And I was like, "Can I take my stuff?" "Yep, take your stuff, take all that I've given you, and get out of my class."
For playing with
toys?
Like,
okay. And they did the whole ooh, the whole class did the whole ooh thing, but then it was so fucking funny. The teacher slammed it. He had a ruler. He had one of those like bendy plastic clear rulers. He smacked that on my desk and screamed out, "Shut the fuck up!"
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It was so... I tried my best not to laugh, because it was like, okay, cool, I got out.
You started laughing
at
right
that point. I'm used to that from all the teachers. I tried my best not to, because it was so fucking funny. He would have cussed me out if he did. Yeah, no.
Oh my god.
He would have cussed me out if I said literally anything while walking out. But the kids went ooh, and the teacher literally just went, "Shut the fuck up!" It was so fucking hilarious.
Oh my god. God, that reminds me of my story. Actually, I had the exact similar story as you did, actually. But go on.
I spent the whole time after class, I spent the whole time laughing my ass off, because it was like, holy shit. And the principal heard about this, right? The principal heard about this, and he got his ass in trouble.
Oh. Oh no. Was
I saw the principal go into... I guess not, because he was there the next day. He sure was softer though.
That's dumb. I'm pretty sure the principal said
he even reluctantly, the next day he even reluctantly gave me back my toy and was like, "All right, class."
he was gonna say, if you do one more outburst like that, you're gonna get fired. He's like, "I want to be nice to these kids." And it's like, well, you have to, or else you're fired. And he's like, fuck. Nah, but
he's a drill sergeant, right? And we're all high schoolers, so yeah.
Well, here's the thing. What made him think that would be a good idea to be a teacher in high school? If you have no tolerance in the military, then what makes you think that?
Because history.
History. He was a history teacher? So he was a history buff.
He was a history buff.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. If you have that much knowledge in history and whatnot, here's the sad thing though, because I'm kind of a history buff myself in a nutshell type of way. It just depends on, what topics I'm interested in, like the Great Depression and the stock market crashing. Not so much on the how the French came to Louisiana and whatnot, and I don't know when the French Knight came around. And I know medieval times is based around medieval Spain and all that, but we're getting off track.
He was more of the teacher who favored the British Tea Act.
The British what?
The tea, when they dumped the tea into the water.
I'm pretty sure he's like, yep, our founding fathers did this shit. It's the most patriotic shit ever. God bless America. He's like really proud of that shit.
He literally was like that, actually.
Are you serious? Wait, was he like old as fuck? Like,
I'm not kidding. Except he had like that drill sergeant growly voice, drill sergeant like typical soldier growly voice.
Oh, that reminds you of the guy from
Like
that
think
one
of the
movie.
soldier from TF2, except like a little more depressed. That's what this guy was.
if he was an alcoholic, TF2, but if he was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on.
That's what this dude was.
That reminds me of my story that we had a similar thing. So we had a woods class teacher, who was a veteran, and he was teaching her class and whatnot, and I was just sitting there, just a drawing in my sketchbook, a lot of furry gif and vor and whatnot, and yada yada, and everyone was just talking, and he's trying to get their attention. And he just yells out like, "Now, if y'all would shut the hell up, we can begin." And everyone's like, "Oh shit! Oh fuck!" Like the kid's like laughing to my right, and then like this kid's losing it. He's like, "Oh shit!" Like they're all freaking out. Literally, that was the first time it got my attention. Like, wait, what? And I remember another time there was a kid, who. So basically, the way our woods class used to look like, by the way, they renovated it. There was the welding section over here, there was woods over here, and then there's the entrance and exit over here. And the welding area has this giant garage door that we can carry in lumber or whatever the fuck, right? And from what I remember is there's this kid who went outside, and outside the back area where the garage door was at and everything, there was a greenhouse there. And there's this other kid who was inside the welding area, and this other kid outside in front of the greenhouse was like, "Hey, I bet you can't like throw a piece of wood at me, haha," like taunting him, whatever. And the kid's like, "Oh yeah, I could do that." And he grabs a piece of wood, right, and he throws it as hard as he can, right. This kid dodges that, and the wood goes flying into the greenhouse window and shatters it. And then our teacher comes out yelling, "Who the fuck threw that?" And this kid was like in tears, like, "Oh, oh." As for the other kid who dodged it, he was hiding behind the door, or hiding behind a couple of trucks that were there. And he's like, "Did you throw that? Did you throw that?" He's like, I'm sorry." And he's like, "Go to the office now." And he like, he goes to the office, like, And then the teacher like sticks his head out, looks around to see if anyone else is out there, and he closes the garage door, and he closes the door, and he locks the student outside. And the student's like, "Oh shit, I can't get in." He's like knocking on the door and everything. He's like, "Oh fuck, what do I do?" So when the bell rang, it was passing period, and this kid grabbed another student's attention, like waving at a glass door, being like, "Hey, can you let me in?" And luckily, they're friends with the kid, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And they let him in. He's like, "What happened?" He's like, bro, like fucking Andrew Tate over here, like threw a piece of like wood at the glass at the greenhouse." And like, no shot. He's like, yeah, I have the pictures. And he pulls up the phone, and sure enough, there's a picture of it. So yeah, they repaired the window, and the kid got in trouble. And another time I remember is there's this kid who grabbed a piece of wood and kind of cut it into a shape of a machete. And he's like, "Look," like to the teacher. He's like, "Look, Mr. blah blah blah, look what I made, a machete." And he's like, "Wait, can I see that?" And he grabs it. He's like, "Oh, nice." And he snaps it on his fucking leg, like on his like knee, and throws it away. And the kid is just like in awe. Or? Damn, we'll be right back after these commercial breaks.